Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals after the Bengals absolutely decimate the Las Vegas Raiders. It was a great day to be a Bengals fan, but just like Joe Burrow, we are not getting too high on this win. There is work to do. We are still under 500, and there is a long way to go. But we got a full cast here tonight, so we got Nick, Josh, and Zach. How's everybody doing?
Day, baby.
Two freaking day.
Don't cut us out yet.
Yeah, Master First Sergeant Toppy Burns over He's ready to roll today. So we're going to let him kick off that first segment of Cheers and Jeers, which we all know, we all love. It's fantastic. So let's get right into it. Your Cheers and Jeers, my friend.
My cheer is going to be the fact that we ran the ball 31 times for 130 yards, averaging 4.2 a carry, and we scored. The run game worked. Rick Thompson was probably crying all the way over at Mount St. Joe's of how beautiful that was and actually getting to run the football. So that's my cheer. My jeer is Jamar Chase went 7 for 43 in the first half and didn't see the ball the rest of the second half. Not really sure. Maybe it was because we started to go up, but we got to continue to get him the ball. That game, we should have won that game by 80, maybe even 90. Greg was here, he would say 90.
Yeah, could have been a lot better. Josh, what do you got?
Cheers. I'm going to say Mike Gesicki. He had a huge game. He finally got really involved. We've seen him a couple games get a little bit involved. This week, they made a point to get him the ball, get him going. Jeers, I'm going to say the soft zone. The soft zone, I hate it. It gives way too much space in the middle of the field, and they don't know how to run it effectively. If they were playing a good team, it would have torn them apart. Luckily, it was just the Raiders.
Yes, much like we saw last week against the Eagles, the soft zone sucks. Nick?
I'm going to say my cheers is going to have to go to Trey Hendrickson. 4 sacks. 4 sacks in one game. This man's a beast. Also, I really liked how Sam Hubbard played down on like a 5 technique / 3 technique. I really liked him down there, being able to work on the tackle. Jeers. Not throwing the ball enough to Jamar Chase, getting him down the field. Just losing the fact that Jamar Chase has the ability to cut and get open. Just not underutilizing Jamar Chase.
You guys left this so open. I thought I was going to have to dig deep and not have to go with the obvious ones. But the obvious one is going to be my cheers, Joe Burrow. 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's just a massive game for him. Yeah, the pick 6 was ugly, but that was just ugly all the way around. I don't blame Joe Burrow. And he's ticked off. He is ready to come out there. He's ready to get the game moving. Joe Burrow, obviously going to be most of your all's player of the game probably, so we'll get to that in a minute. But I'll make him my cheer and go a different direction for that portion. But my jeer is Jermaine Burton. What the heck, dude? Show up to walkthroughs. It's not hard. You're getting paid. I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, how are you a professional athlete and you can't make it to a walkthrough? And then you show up in pajamas. And there was some drama with Joe Burrow and him and different things we'll get into a little bit later in the rumors section that I'm going to pop up on you guys. But for now, we'll get into the player of the game, and I'll start off with mine. Since I already named Joe Burrow for my cheers, I'm going with Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton had a fantastic game. He had 6 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles. He was blitzing. Yeah, he didn't get there, but he definitely caused a lot of pressure. And he was making plays, and that's what we need. We need somebody other than the front 4 getting in the backfield, disrupting quarterbacks, knocking down running backs, and that's what Mike Hilton did. He had a great game. So my player of the game goes to Mike Hilton. Nick, who do you got?
Yeah, I really like your player of the game, Mike Hilton. He caused, 2 sacks for Trey Hendrickson? I mean, just absolutely amazing. I'm gonna have to say Chase Brown is my player of the game. What was it, 130 something yards, 160 total yards, somewhere around there. Receiving touchdown in the back of the end zone, going backwards, aware enough to be able to get his feet still in bounds and make the catch all at the same time. And he saw Burrow scrambling out of the pocket, and he got himself open. Did you see him turn on the turbo? Holy crap. That man can fly. God, I can't wait to see him out in the open field again. Chase Brown, heck of a game. First 100 plus yard rushing game. Congrats, man.
Josh, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Logan Wilson. Ton of solo tackles, ton of assisted tackles, 2 fumble recoveries. Big turning points in the game were the fumble recoveries. Of course, they were caused by the defensive line, but he scooped them up and he was able to secure that ball. We've all seen too many times, if you don't secure the ball, it doesn't count. So him being able to do that, perfect game-changing plays there. I love it. And we all know that we love some Logan Wilson. Anytime he does something good, we want to point that out. And it's the reason why you got a game ball.
It's Man Crush Thursday or Monday on Thursday. Oh gosh, Thursday on Monday. Man Crush Thursday on a Monday. I knew how to talk for Nick because that's his guy, Logan Wilson. Anyway, Zach, who do you got?
My man.
No, we know. Calm down over there, Tiger. My player of the game is actually the player of the post game, and that's Joe Burrow and the way he commanded the locker room to keep it on a short week. Hey, go celebrate for an hour, but we're done celebrating after that hour. We are going into this mindset of we've got Baltimore this week. So Joe played a phenomenal game on the field. We got to see feisty, shisty out there. Maybe we make that a shirt.
I like it.
And then after the game, we're just still getting down to business, and we're on to Baltimore. So shout out to Joe for a phenomenal game, and keep it going, man.
Show your pride for Ken and Willie Anderson's Hall of Fame candidacy with our exclusive t-shirt. Featuring a bold design, this shirt lets you celebrate 2 football legends. Plus, 30% of proceeds go to the Ken Anderson Alliance and Willie Anderson Lineman Academy. Wear your support and make a difference today.
We're going to move into a fun segment here with rumors and controversies and things that we're not 100% sure about. But before we jump into that, thoughts and prayers and everything with Eric, all devastating news. He's had a fantastic season. He's really been a great contributor. And to get the same ACL twice, that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. We hope he comes back. Wish him all the best. And, just thinking about you, dude, and we appreciate everything you did for the Bengals this season. But moving into rumors and different controversies and things, I'm going to give you each one, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. So first up, Nick, I'm going to give you Jermaine Burton. I wish he played like Jamar. That'd be great. Jermaine Burton at a casino by himself after the game. That's what the picture looks like. Your thoughts?
You kind of cut out there. Something about by himself.
At a casino.
Oh, I mean, come on, dude. Learn some etiquette with professional football. You have to understand that you are there and football is your business. You are there to practice football. You are there to learn football. You are there to perform on the football field. If there's anything that gets in the way of that, cut it out. It's business. This is business season.
Yeah. This is not off-season activities. That sounds like a great thing to do in March or April when you have some free time. Not right now. Josh, I'll give you the toss or the easy layup here. What are your thoughts on Gesicki's gritty?
I thought it was much improved. You can see that he has actually learned from Jamar, and Jamar seems to have appreciated it with, the him jumping up to give him some credit for it. I mean, he studied. He's done a whole lot more studying than Jermaine Burton has, just doing the gritty. So I respect it, and I just want to see more of it.
So, Zach, I'm going to make you answer a blind question here. Pick number 1 or number 2. That'll depend which question I give you or which topic,
That's
really.
It's interesting you say blind because I can't see any of you guys because I'm working on the great Fort Knox Wi-Fi right now. So, um, one or two, um,
Pick number
Uno.
3, my lord. Pick number 3.
Well, number 1.
Go.
All right. So number 1 is in the post game, speech by Zach Taylor. He's giving out game balls. He gives a game ball to Joe Burrow, and then a ball is immediately thrown back to the guy holding the balls from the same direction. Looks like Joe Burrow may have thrown back his game ball. What do you think about that?
I love it. It's what I was alluding to earlier, is that he doesn't care about the game ball, about this game. This is the game that they were supposed to go out and win, right? We even said, like, this is the game that you're going to win by 70. You should put 70 on this team because that is just how bad the Raiders are right now. So for him, this is just another game. And I love the post press conference conversation where he started talking about, if we don't go down the field and score a touchdown every play, I'm going to be pissed off. I love it. That's the mentality that not only Joe Burrow needs to have, but everybody on the offense, to include the offensive line, to include Zach Taylor, Dan Pitcher, and everybody else in the organization. So I'm good with it. Doesn't mean anything to me. It's just a game ball.
Question to Nick now, since we know how you feel. Do you think he's undermining Zach Taylor by doing that?
That's kind of a leading question. I don't know that he's undermining Zach Taylor. I think he's, in his own way, showing that it's not about the ball. It's not about performing to get the game ball at the end of the game. He's out there to win a ball game, and we're out there to win it as a team. Now, does it look like he may be undermining Zach Taylor a little bit? Could. It could present that. I see where you could kind of lead into that question, but I don't think that was Burrow's intention. I think that his intention was to show that it's not about the game ball; it's about the win.
I mean, to be clear, we don't know that that's exactly what happened. That's just the rumor that's going on. So don't come at us too much in the comments if you're like, that's not what happened. They've already disproved this. Hey, we're just coming up with something to talk about because it's a hot button at the moment. So the other one that Zach could have gotten, all of these trade rumors. Now I've heard Chase Young and then the guy from the Giants who's a good defensive end and all these other people. I don't think it's happening. I mean, I believe in the history of this team and the fact that they don't make in-season trades very often. I only remember them doing one in my lifetime. Maybe they did another one when I was younger. I know they've done like 2 in the last, 40 years? I'm not quite
52
40.
years.
52
52
years, yeah.
years.
So yeah, but that's not my lifetime. I remember they did Larry Johnson was an in-season trade from the Chiefs a long time
Didn't
ago.
pan out well.
Yeah, he played okay for a game or two. But I mean, that was it. But they've not done anything else. So the fact that people are like, they're going to get Chase Young, which I guess he's still decent. I don't know. I haven't followed him very close. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do it because Duke Tobin hoards his draft picks like, it's his precious or something. Even though most of his draft picks, as we proved last week, have been a dumpster fire. So that's my thought there is they are not going to make a trade. I wish they would. I would trade every 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round pick to make this team better this year. I legitimately would because a 6th and a 7th round pick are just as good as an undrafted free agent most of the time. They have the same success rate. So that's good with that. But
Take your career to new heights with constructive curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
moves us into trivia time. So with Trey Hendrickson having his best sack performance, I'm pretty sure best Bengals sack performance in a single game, did he tie Antoine Odom or did he beat Antoine Odom? I'd have to double check on that one. I looked it
I think
up.
he
And now my
tied it.
brain-
I think he tied it.
So with that in mind, this is not a Bengals trivia question directly. This is an NFL trivia question. Who has the most sacks in a single game? And there's 2 other parts to it. Let's see if you all can get it.
TJ Watt.
Nope.
Lawrence Taylor.
Nope.
Ooh, Reggie White.
Nope.
Warren Sapp.
Nope.
Maybe
So
that was a
Zach,
Miami stat.
yeah, Zach and Josh, you guys have one more guess. Nick has used his 2 guesses.
Josh.
I said Reggie
Let me
White.
say whoever was on the defensive line against the Bengals in the playoffs.
No.
Let's see.
The Titans.
Do I get a decade?
90s. That took
Reggie
away one
White.
of the second
What
parts.
was Howie Long in the 90s?
No.
I don't
You're
know
not
then.
going to guess it. I'll go ahead and tell you this. This is the impossible trivia question, but good for those of people out here who don't know. Derek Thomas. Now you have 32 options on this one instead of, infinite options. What team did he play for?
Browns.
Nope. Those Brown flush it down.
Oh my gosh. The Oilers.
Nope. Zach,
I was just
Josh,
throwing out some
you're
random
gonna
team.
guess.
Rams.
The what?
Rams.
Nope.
Vikings?
No,
If
it's
it
the
was-
dreaded Kansas City Chiefs.
I wanted to say them, but I couldn't say them. I just couldn't let myself do it.
And what team did they play it against, or did he do it against? The Seattle Seahawks. So, hey, there's our trivia for the week. You got to learn a fun NFL fact because the Bengals trivia, I decided to branch out a little bit because we're hoping that Thursday night is the jumping off point to great things to come for the rest of the season, but it may lead us into off-season mode really quickly. So I'm just getting warmed up, everybody. Just letting you guys know that.
Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
Moving into our next section, this is going to be the Talking Bengals challenge question. To recap, we did not have any winners this week. It was sad. But it was hard to guess with, things just didn't quite pan out the way we wanted. Jamar had a weird performance. But we're going to make it, we're going to try to make this even easier. So go ahead, put your guesses
Stop
in.
saying that. You can't say that. Every time you say that, it gets worse.
We are making this extremely hard.
We're going to make this as hard as possible.
So the the 2 different questions, if you get either one right within 10 yards, so plus or minus 10 yards, you get a free Talking Bengals t-shirt. Chase Brown rushing yards and Lamar Jackson rushing yards. So get either one of those plus or minus 10 yards, you get some of our awesome swag. And like Zach was talking about, there may be a Feisty Shiesty shirt coming out. There may be a Joe Vember shirt coming out very soon. So be on the lookout for those awesome designs. But Nick, lead us around here and let's figure out what our guesses are for this. Lead us off.
So my guess, Chase Brown, I'm going to say 80. So 80 for Brown, and Lamar Jackson, say 43.
80 and 43.
I'm going to go with Chase Brown, 107. And Lamar Jackson is going to have 78.
78. And then
I'm actually
Bernsey
typing these down, Casey, so you don't need to worry about it.
Bernsey doesn't like the question because he's just seemed to have disappeared.
No.
So-
I'm still here. I'm just in the other room at the moment.
Okay, do you have guesses there, sweetheart?
Yeah, I have a guess. So for Chase Brown, since Nick went 80, I'm going 97 for Chase Brown. And Lamar Jackson, uh, I'm going to go 52.
And I think Lamar Jackson is going to be the leading rusher for their team. So they're going to shut down Derrick Henry again.
So I'm going with Chase Brown with 46 yards and Lamar Jackson with 56 yards. So I think I might be tipping my hand a little bit of where I'm going, but hey, we shall see.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
But that moves us into the preview portion of the show. Da, 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 da. The Baltimore Ravens. We have seen them once this season. We got our hearts broke by just a rough game. If you didn't hear that episode, please go back. I don't want to rehash that. But Baltimore's also been exposed a little bit. They got beat by the Browns. Now, yes, it was a Jameis Winston-led Browns, but still, they got beat by the Browns. They are vulnerable. They've had some issues down the stretch. I think we can beat them if we play our best game. But this is also almost down to the day on Thursday night, the Joe Burrow wrist game. I know people like say, you don't talk about the wrist game. I'm just putting facts out there. Baltimore's a rough place to play. Josh, lead us off with your preview.
Well, I'm going to spin a little bit of positivity here. So, the game plan last week against the Raiders, well, last week, yesterday, I saw that as a very vanilla. They were not going to stretch the field. They were not going to try to just tip their hand. Basically, every pass to Jamar Chase was a screen because they were playing the second worst tackling team in the entire league, and they were just assuming that, you know what, the game plan is going to be let them try to make them miss. And we're going to try to keep everyone as healthy as we can going into Baltimore, and it's worked out for the most part. The only people that really stretched the field was Mike Gesicki, and they had a couple passes to Andre Yosevich that were a little bit out there. Other than that, they kept everything up close, kept it short, quick passes, screens, dump offs, just beat them at a game that we felt like we could beat them at, and it worked out great. So I'm going to say that they were trying to keep things vanilla so they can go into Baltimore, and they're going to stretch the field. They're going to get Jamar Chase streaking down the field, and hopefully they can get the rookie, Jermaine Burton. There you go. Hopefully they can get him out there. If he just shows up to freaking walkthroughs, he doesn't have to know the playbook. Stretch him down the field. Let him take two people away, and that'll leave the field open for everybody else. We've already seen what Mike Gesicki can do. Too bad Eric All's hurt. I mean, he was looking awesome. But that, I think, is going to be the game plan. And that's going to also open up the running game. That's going to hopefully let Brown destroy them up front. So I'm expecting them to do good.
Right, what's your prediction?
I'm going to say I'm Mr. Not So Pessimistic today. So I'm going to go Bengals are going to win, but it's still going to be a close one because they're still going to carve up our defense. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 35-32 Bengals.
5-32. I like it. Nick, let's see where you're at this week.
I'm still not impressed with the defense, although Trey Hendrickson was able to get 4 sacks and we're able to mix up the fronts. I'm still not impressed with the coverage. I think that the main focus is going to be covering Flowers on pass plays and making sure that we can limit Derrick Henry to under 50 rushing yards, as well as containing Lamar Jackson from scrambling. Keep him in the pocket. He's not comfortable. As long as we can do that defensively, I think if we can establish the run offensively, like we did very successfully this past week against the Raiders. I think that we're going to have a lot of success opening up the downfield streak plays like what Josh was mentioning. But I don't think that we're going to utilize Chase as a downfield streaker. I think that's going to be Yoshi. I think that utilizing Chase on out routes is going to be a lot more success because of his cuts. His cuts are a lot more sharp than most any other receiver out there. So I think that getting those like short slant crossing routes and 10-yard outs, things like that, I think those dig routes are going to be huge. So I don't want to get too positive. I think honestly, it's going to probably come down to a final field goal. I think defensively, it's probably going to be a pretty good game. I'm going to say, I hate to say it, I'm going to say 24-21 Ravens.
Oof. Burns, are you going positive or negative? I just need to know that.
I'm going positive.
Okay, I'll go first then. So I think Lamar Jackson is the key to this game. Joe Burrow can do the best he can do. He could put up another epic performance. But if you don't stop Lamar Jackson, and I mean, you don't have to just shut him down completely, but you can't let him carve you up. You can't be blitzing at an all-time high rate and not get home. You have to make him make mistakes. You can't let him get comfortable. You can't make it look like last year's game in Baltimore where I was literally counting to 12 and 15 on pass plays. He can't have that long to pass or you will lose. And like Nick alluded to, I don't still have any faith in this pass rush. Now, hopefully tomorrow, what I said earlier just gets stomped all over and the Bengals bring in another edge rusher who just wreaks havoc on the Ravens. But if that doesn't happen, I just don't see it. Joe Burrow's doing the best he can, but if T doesn't get healthy, which we're hoping that's why they didn't let him play Sunday, so he plays on Thursday. But we're still not 100% sure if he will or not. Chase Brown did a great job, but he is just without a 1-2 punch because my favorite guy is our backup, Travion Williams, the guy we're still trying to figure out how's on the team. When that's your backup running back, that's scary. That's not where you want to be at. And I don't think Zach Moss is going to be back for Thursday either. He might be, but I don't think he will at all. And so Bengals fans are going to throw tomatoes at me. I know they will. I have a bad feeling. I've had a bad feeling about it since I woke up this morning, and I hope that I have it backwards, but Ravens 41-17. It's just going to be bad. Zach, bring us back to positivity.
I'm going to bring some stats to this one. It's matchup stats. So Lamar Jackson versus the Bengals in 7 games since 2020. So when Joe was the starting quarterback, 1573, 15 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. I didn't pull up his rushing stats. It kind of ran out of time before the show. So that's what he's done passing wise. Joe on the other side, 2 in 8 games, 2,271, 17 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. So almost identical stats as far as that goes. So just expect a couple touchdowns thrown, a couple deep balls, and just a really fun football game. Now, on the other side of my card here on Joe, I looked up his Jovember stats. Okay, he's 8-5 all time in November, 3,163 in total yards, 22 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So he gets cooking. I know that in the past, the weeks 1 through 3, we're still trying to figure it out, getting ready, getting comfortable, and all the other stuff. November, he starts going. So that's good news for us. My concern is still the passing game or the defensive passing game because I just looked up the stats for that as well. We only have 4 picks all year as a team. That's that's embarrassing. How can you call yourself a professional defensive back or secondary and you don't even have more than 4? That's not even 1 per player. That's not good. However, I think that with the short week, because Baltimore is playing on a short week just like we are. I think that we can contain Lamar. We can actually put him on the ground. because the defense was jiving the last couple weeks and trying to do that. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 27-21 Bengals.
I like it. I mean, so we're a split group tonight. We got 2 going for Bengals, 2 going for Ravens, and we're kind of all over the spectrum. Like I said, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I hope Nick's wrong. We're both hoping we're wrong. So we just want the Bengals to win, but we got to go with what we feel. Once again, do not place any bets off anything that we were saying because we're never right. I'm just gonna say our scores are never close. So don't even come at us with that. Going into closing thoughts, Josh, lead us off.
Well, we've only got a couple more days till game day. Short week. Hopefully that fire that Joe Burrow has, he is mad. And if anything we have seen from Joe, if he's mad, the other team better watch out. He is ready to carve you up. He's probably ready to tell Zach Taylor, no, I don't like that play. I'm not going to call that. And he's just going to call what he wants. I feel like that's where he is. He's the lead. He's trying to be the vocal leader that this team needs. And that's been the theme of this season. I'm going to be the leader this team needs me to be. And that might come out this week if he doesn't like the play call. I hope so. And I hope they come out and just destroy them. So come on, Bengals. Get a huge freaking win. Let's go. Houday.
I like it, Nick.
I think that this week is going to be a hard week. Not only is it short week, but you're also playing a division rival. AFC North is always tough. It's usually always a grind. I really hope that I'm wrong. And like I said, it could go either way. 24-21. The only reason I put it to the Ravens is because they're at home. And I don't remember the stat, but I don't think it looks good for the Bengals playing in Baltimore. So big scenario. If we go in and beat Baltimore in Baltimore, that is a statement for the league. Watch out. Here comes the Bengals. If we go in and lay an egg, we might as well just give up the rest of the season.
I couldn't have put this game before the trade deadline. Zach, plug the socials and give your final thoughts.
Well, depending on where you follow us, go and follow us on all of our platforms. It is Talkin_Bengals on everywhere, whether it's YouTube, TikTokies, the artist formerly known as Twitter, which is now known as X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. Anything new? Drop it in the comments and let us know where we can start a new platform. Maybe we can get trendy there. My final thoughts, other than the socials, we got to win this one. Got to keep the trend going. Got to keep going. And we can't let the season end on Thursday. You know, Thursday's what, the 7th? I don't want to be doing off-season topics next week.
I do not either.
I'm going to come back and I'm going to jump in because there is somebody's birthday that is coming up on game day. And I want to give a special shout out to the four-eyed ball wonder sitting there with the black background, Casey Sprague. Happy early birthday, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know what corner you're actually in, so I'm just going to point to all of them.
Put somewhere.
For me,
This corner.
it's this one.
Everybody just point to
That
different
one's for me.
corners. Like,
I still can't see you guys, so I'm just, like I said.
oh, goodness, Zach. All right, so I will put it out there. With everything going on this week, the Bengals game is probably not the most important thing, but regardless, don't act like a moron with whatever goes on. Please act like adults. Be good examples to other people. Be good examples to your children. With all of the stuff that's happening this week, just relax. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay no matter which way it goes. We will persevere. And this fan base has always been through worse. So on a grand scale, we can persevere. And the fan base, we lived through the 90s. We're going to make it through anything. Houday.
Houday.
Hey.
Show your Bengals and Northern Kentucky pride. Get the Talkin Bengals Y'all shirt now. Order today exclusively at talkinbengals.com.
Thank you for listening to Talkin Bengals. Be sure to like and subscribe to Talkin Bengals on Facebook and Instagram at Talkin Bengals. You can also listen to Talkin Bengals on your preferred podcast provider. See you next time. Hoo day.